Welcome to the Numis Hunter, the ultimate destination for every coin enthusiast, treasure seeker, and collector who believes that history hides in the palm of your hand. Today, we dive deep into one of the most shocking and mind-blowing stories in the world of rare coins, a discovery that has stunned collectors and historians alike. The unbelievable 1972 quarter-dollar coin that has been valued at a staggering $105 million because of its mysterious minting errors, jaw-dropping mistakes, and the rarest of features ever seen on a U.S. coin, turning an ordinary piece of pocket change into a life-changing fortune. Imagine holding a coin that was supposed to be worth just 25 cents, but instead is now one of the most sought-after pieces in numismatic history. A coin whose accidental perfection and imperfection has made it an object of global fascination and an icon of the minting world. The 1972 quarter at first glance looks just like any other from the era, bearing the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, the proud American eagle on the reverse, and the simple dignity of its copper-nickel surface. But beneath that ordinary appearance lies a collection of microscopic, invisible minting mistakes that transformed this coin into something so unique that experts describe it as a once-in-a-century minting anomaly. The story begins at the Philadelphia Mint in 1972, a time when machinery was being adjusted for production shifts and new minting presses were under calibration, leading to multiple possibilities for mechanical misalignment, planchet contamination, and die duplication, all ingredients for mint errors that, decades later, can produce million-dollar rarities. On this particular quarter, collectors have noted a combination of several distinct and incredibly rare features. A double-die obverse where Washington's portrait, the words Liberty, and the date 1972 appear doubled under magnification, giving it a ghostly and layered effect, as if the design had been struck twice slightly out of alignment. A reverse strike-through error caused by debris or grease on the die during striking, softening parts of the eagle and motto details. And perhaps most astonishingly, a misaligned die strike that leaves the obverse and reverse designs slightly rotated against each other, creating an unusual angle that immediately catches an expert's eye. The edges of this coin show faint traces of incomplete collaring, meaning the coin wasn't perfectly centered during striking, which resulted in a slightly warped rim. An error that by itself might not be worth much, but when combined with the double die and strike-through issues, turns it into a perfect storm of minting irregularities. To add to the mystery, some reports indicate that the coin may have been struck on a transitional or wrong planchet, possibly one intended for a foreign coin or an experimental alloy test, explaining the slightly off-color tone that differs from regular quarters of that year. This tiny metallic difference adds another layer of intrigue, as transitional errors have historically commanded astronomical prices at auctions. Experts have speculated that only one or two examples of this particular 1972 quarter with all these combined features exist, making it far rarer than even the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent or the 1913 Liberty head nickel, coins that have fetched millions. The sheer improbability of so many errors aligning in one coin makes it a numismatic miracle, a product of chance that slipped through the strict quality control of the U.S. Mint unnoticed. Some numismatists believe that this quarter may have been struck during a shift change or late-night calibration, when oversight was minimal and a single misfeed or pressure miscalibration could create a multi-error strike. The coin's condition is also extraordinary, preserved with minimal circulation wear, suggesting that it was either quickly pulled from use or kept by someone who noticed its odd appearance decades ago. Over the years, stories of its discovery have circulated among collectors. Some say it was found in an old coin jar during a house cleaning. Others claim it surfaced in a coin roll search by a hobbyist. But regardless of its origin, its verified authenticity by professional grading services has made it one of the most valuable U.S. quarters ever recorded. The 1972 quarter's $105 million valuation is not merely about its metal content or face value. It represents the confluence of rarity, historical accident, collector obsession, and the sheer thrill of finding beauty in imperfection. Each visible doubling on the lettering, each tiny die crack near Washington's profile, Each faintly misaligned rim tells the story of how human machinery and natural chance combined to create something no mint could ever intentionally reproduce. Collectors from around the world had described this coin as a symbol of hidden potential, proof that even the smallest object can carry immense worth if it holds a story that bridges error and rarity. Some analysts believe that its high valuation also stems from competition among elite private collectors and museums, each wanting to own a coin that represents the pinnacle of minting mistakes. Auction houses have confirmed that high-profile investors in numismatics see coins like this as art, unique, irreplaceable, and forever connected to the cultural and technological history of a nation. The 1972 quarter's fame has reignited public interest in coin hunting, inspiring thousands of people to check their loose change, coin jars, and old drawers for potential treasures hiding in plain sight. Videos and news articles about this coin have gone viral, as people around the world marvel at how a small disc of metal could become more valuable than a mansion or a luxury car. And yet, beyond the money, this coin tells a deeper story about human curiosity and the unexpected wonders that can emerge from error. Every mint mistake is a fingerprint of history, a frozen moment when machinery, metal, and human oversight intersected to produce something extraordinary. This 1972 quarter, with its doubled inscriptions, misaligned dies, and off-metal tones, embodies that idea perfectly. It is not just a coin, but a time capsule of imperfection turned to perfection. Experts often stress the importance of authentication, as counterfeiters have attempted to replicate such coins, but true examples reveal microscopic die markers and metallurgical traits that can't be faked. For genuine collectors, identifying the original involves examining details like the subtle doubling in the "In God We Trust" motto and the thickness of the rim near the date. The original coin's patina and surface luster also indicate genuine age and mint striking rather than modern tampering. As the legend of the $105 million quarter continues to spread, it has reshaped how people perceive value in everyday objects. It reminds us that rarity often hides behind routine, that what seems ordinary could in fact be a masterpiece of historical chance. Imagine finding one in your pocket, your heart racing as you compare it to reference images, realizing that the lines in Liberty are doubled, that the eagle's feathers blur slightly, that something about the weight feels just a bit different. For a moment, the entire world pauses, and that tiny disc of metal connects you to the grand narrative of American minting history. The 1972 quarter teaches us that value isn't only measured in face numbers but in stories, uniqueness, and legacy. Its journey from a minting error to a nine-figure treasure is proof that the smallest accidents can produce the greatest wonders. It stands as a beacon for collectors everywhere, reminding us that treasure hunting isn't about luck alone, but about passion, patience, and a keen eye for detail. So next time you hold a quarter in your hand, look closely, study its surface, check its edges, and never underestimate what it could be hiding beneath. Because somewhere out there, another overlooked coin might be waiting to tell its story, just like the extraordinary 1972 quarter dollar that went from spare change to a $105 million marvel. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of numismatic mysteries. And if you love discovering hidden treasures, rare coins, and incredible stories of history turning into fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Numis Hunter, and stay tuned for more unbelievable tales from the world of coins, where even a simple quarter can change your life forever. Next, the 1996p quarter dollar coin that turned out to be worth an unbelievable $10 million because of its rare minting errors, fascinating mistakes, and unique variations that make it one of the most extraordinary finds in U.S. coinage history. Imagine holding a simple 25-cent coin, minted in the mid-1990s, thinking it's just another piece of spare change, only to discover that this tiny disc of copper-nickel alloy could make you a millionaire overnight because of errors so rare that experts describe them as virtually impossible to replicate intentionally. The 1996p quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was part of a standard production run, but somewhere in that year's massive minting process, A perfect storm of mechanical malfunction, die misalignment, and planchet irregularities created a few coins that completely defied the norms of minting precision, turning them into accidental masterpieces of error that collectors today consider priceless. On the surface, this quarter looks like any other, bearing the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the bold bald eagle on the reverse. But under close inspection, specialists have identified a combination of errors that have never been seen together in quite this way, creating an example so unique that its value skyrocketed far beyond any logical expectation. The first thing experts noticed about this particular coin was a dramatic double die strike on the obverse side, where the word liberty and the motto, "I in God we trust," appear slightly doubled, as though the coin was struck twice in near-perfect misalignment, giving Washington's portrait a shadowed, almost three-dimensional appearance under magnification. This kind of doubling error is caused by a slight shift in the die between strikes, and while double dies are not unheard of, the intensity and clarity of the doubling on the 1996 P quarter are exceptionally sharp, making it one of the clearest examples of this phenomenon from the 1990s. But that was just the beginning. The coin also features a partial collar error, where the collar die that holds the coin in place during striking failed to completely enclose the planchet, causing the rim to spread unevenly on one side, giving the coin an oddly distorted edge and a slightly out-of-round shape. This feature by itself adds significant rarity, as it indicates a momentary lapse in the minting machinery's precision that allowed the coin to deform just enough to stand out without being rejected by quality control. Adding to its uniqueness is a striking off-center alignment, estimated at about 10% off, meaning that both the obverse and reverse designs are shifted slightly toward one edge, leaving part of the rim blank and creating an immediate visual difference that anyone can spot even without magnification. Off-center strikes are one of the most visually appealing types of mint errors because they make the coin look visibly wrong while still clearly identifiable, and collectors are often willing to pay massive premiums for such pieces, especially when combined with other errors. Then comes the most shocking discovery about this particular 1996 P quarter. Experts believe that it may have been struck on a transitional or foreign planchet, possibly made of a slightly different metallic composition than regular quarters of that era. When tested, the coin's weight and tone didn't perfectly match standard 5.67 grams or the expected copper-nickel color, showing subtle hints of a silvery hue that suggests it could have been minted on a planchet meant for another denomination or country. This type of wrong planchet error is among the rarest in U.S. coinage, as it means a blank intended for one coin somehow found its way into the press, striking another, creating a hybrid coin that should not exist at all. It's these combined factors, double die obverse, partial collar, off-center strike, and possible wrong planchet, that make this particular 1996 P quarter one of the most valuable modern coins ever recorded, with its worth reaching an astonishing $10 million. To put that into perspective, it's a coin minted in your lifetime, still modern-looking, and yet worth more than vintage rarities that are over a century old. The reason behind this insane valuation lies not only in its error combination, but also in its perfect condition. The coin was reportedly found in uncirculated state, with a brilliant luster and almost no signs of handling, indicating that it was likely set aside right after minting, perhaps by someone who noticed its odd appearance or by pure coincidence. Numismatists who examined it under high-powered microscopes reported die cracks near Washington's neck, micro-doubling along the date 1996, and subtle texture differences across the fields, all consistent with an original mint error rather than post-mint damage. The Philadelphia Mint in the 1990s was responsible for producing billions of quarters each year, and during such massive production, even the smallest mechanical variation can produce a minting oddity, but the odds of all these specific errors aligning perfectly on one coin are astronomical. It's estimated that fewer than 5 coins from the entire 1996 P mintage may exhibit even half of these characteristics, and this particular one remains the only known specimen with all features verified by multiple grading authorities. When it was first authenticated, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, sparking debates about how such a severe combination of mistakes could slip past the Mint's stringent inspection systems. Some experts theorize that the coin might have been produced during a transitional phase when mint machinery was being recalibrated or replaced, which often leads to temporary mechanical inconsistencies. Others suggested that environmental factors, like temperature fluctuations or metal contamination, could have affected the die hardness or striking pressure, leading to an unusual strike sequence. Regardless of the cause, what makes this coin so fascinating is how these accidental imperfections have elevated it from common currency to an object of legend. Collectors often describe the allure of mint errors as the beauty of chaos. The idea that flaws in production can create something far more valuable than perfection ever could. And that's exactly what happened with the 1996 P quarter. Beyond the technical details, its story represents a deeper fascination with chance, luck, and the unexpected treasures that might still be hiding in our everyday lives. Imagine rummaging through your change, hearing that familiar metallic clink, and finding a coin that looks just slightly off, a double letter here, a missing rim there, and realizing that you might be holding a fortune in your palm. This exact scenario has happened countless times before, and it's stories like this 1996 P quarter that reignite the dream for coin hunters and collectors everywhere. Auction houses have confirmed that rare U.S. mint errors, especially modern ones in pristine condition, have become incredibly valuable as more people enter the numismatic market looking for the next big discovery. As demand surges, the few known examples of these high-error quarters have become almost impossible to acquire, often passing between private collectors for sums that exceed the prices of historic coins like the 1804 silver dollar or the 1913 Liberty nickel. The coin's $10 million valuation doesn't just represent its rarity. It's also about its status as a symbol of modern minting mystery, a testament to how, even in the age of precision technology, human error and machine imperfection can produce art. The surface of the coin reveals a mesmerizing interplay of luster and strike anomalies. When viewed under light, the doubling creates the ghost-like reflection that seems to shimmer as the coin is turned, making it both scientifically fascinating and visually captivating. Some have even called it the ghost quarter because of this optical effect. Every collector who's seen it in person agrees. It's unlike any other coin ever minted. And while it's currently locked away in a private collection, its legend continues to inspire. Online communities have been abuzz with speculation, with some believing that there might still be more undiscovered 1996 P era quarters waiting to be found, hidden in coin rolls, jars, or old collections. The U.S. Mint has never officially commented on this coin's creation, further deepening the intrigue. But what's undeniable is that its combination of minting errors makes it a once-in-a-lifetime rarity, a fluke of history that turned an everyday coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. For collectors, this coin is more than metal. It's a dream, proof that numismatics is as much about mystery as it is about money. The 1996 P quarter has become a story of discovery and hope, reminding us that treasures are not always buried deep underground. They sometimes sit quietly in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to notice. Next, the 1992 P quarter-dollar coin that stunned collectors, historians, and experts across the globe after being valued at a staggering $17 million because of its unimaginable minting errors, mysterious die mistakes, and the rare combination of features that make it one of the most extraordinary and valuable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Imagine holding an ordinary quarter, minted in 1992, worth just 25 cents on paper, but under the surface lies a series of errors so rare, so complex, and so perfectly aligned that they transformed this simple coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. A coin so unique that it has been described as a numismatic miracle. The 1992 P quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, appears normal to the untrained eye, featuring George Washington's iconic profile on the obverse and the bold eagle design on the reverse. But hidden within its metal layers and visible details are clues of minting chaos, an overlap of errors that turn a common circulation coin into one of the rarest pieces of modern American currency ever discovered. The legend of the $17 million 1992 P quarter begins with one of the most striking and visible errors, A double die obverse, where the entire front of the coin was struck twice slightly out of alignment, causing Washington's portrait, the inscriptions Liberty and I in God We Trust, and even the date 1992 to appear doubled, producing a shadow-like duplication effect that instantly sets it apart. This doubling is so sharp and pronounced that under magnification, every letter shows a clear offset, a sign of misalignment between the die and planchet during the striking process. Such double die errors are already highly sought after in the numismatic world, but the 1992 P quarter doesn't stop there. It takes rarity to a level that almost defies belief. In addition to the double design, experts discovered a dramatic off-center strike, meaning the coin was struck about 15% out of position, leaving one side of the rim blank and the other slightly cropped, creating a visually distinctive tilted appearance that gives the coin an unbalanced, almost artistic look. This off-center strike suggests that the planchet wasn't properly seated in the collar during minting, a mechanical misalignment that the mint's automated systems typically catch and discard, but in this case, it somehow passed through unnoticed. Combined with the double die feature, it creates a truly one-of-a-kind error combination. But what really sends the value of this coin soaring into the millions is the discovery that the coin may have been struck on a transitional or wrong planchet, a blank intended for another denomination or even another country's coinage. Tests of the metal composition revealed a slightly different weight and tone than the standard 5.67 grams and typical copper-nickel clad color of quarters from that era. This unique planchet variation produced a slightly more silver-like hue and distinct ring when the coin was tested acoustically, leading experts to theorize that it could have been struck on a leftover planchet from an experimental batch used in mint calibration or for foreign coin production. Such errors are beyond rare. They represent moments when the mint's production lines cross over materials by pure accident, creating a hybrid that was never supposed to exist. On top of these already astonishing features, microscopic examination revealed multiple die cracks along the obverse, tiny raised lines running from the rim through Washington's hair and neck area, indicating die fatigue, a sign that the die used to strike this coin was near the end of its life, resulting in uneven pressure and additional texture variations across the surface. These cracks not only add authenticity, but also another layer of uniqueness, as no two coins from a fatigue die are ever exactly alike. The reverse of the coin, too, shows telltale signs of a partial strike-through error, where debris, grease, or foreign material became lodged between the die and planchet during minting, softening some of the eagle's feathers and the E pluribus unum inscription, giving it a faint, ghostly appearance. This greasy die effect gives the coin a subtle blur on its reverse details, another unmistakable marker of a genuine minting anomaly. The combination of double die, off-center strike, wrong planchet, die cracks, and strike-through errors makes the 1992 P quarter an error collector's ultimate dream, a coin that captures nearly every major type of mint mistake in one specimen. Experts estimate that only one or two coins might exist with all these overlapping characteristics, making it rarer than iconic numismatic legends like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent. When it first surfaced, the 1992 P quarter was reportedly found by a casual coin collector who noticed its unusual doubling and coloration while sorting through a roll of quarters for a local bank. At first, it was dismissed as a minor error coin, but after being examined by professional graders and authenticated by multiple numismatic authorities, it quickly became the focus of international attention. Its valuation skyrocketed, driven not just by rarity, but by collector obsession, as private investors and museums competed to own one of the rarest minting accidents of the modern era. The $17 million valuation might sound unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, it reflects more than monetary worth. It represents history, mystery, and the perfect confluence of chance and error. The Philadelphia Mint, known for its precision and mass production, was under heavy operational load in 1992, producing billions of coins for circulation. Even the smallest misalignment in the dies, the tiniest foreign particle on the press, or a single planchet misfeed could result in a rare error coin. But for so many mistakes to occur simultaneously and in such a visible way defies statistical probability. It's like winning the minting lottery. The intrigue surrounding this coin only deepened as more details emerged. Some mint insiders theorized that the error may have occurred during a maintenance recalibration, a moment when test strikes are occasionally made using non-standard materials or dyes. In such cases, these coins are meant to be destroyed, but once in a while, a single specimen might escape into circulation. That's what many experts believe happened here. A coin born out of chaos, accidentally released into the world, where it would quietly circulate until destiny brought it to light decades later. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its pristine state. Despite being struck with so many errors, the surviving specimen is in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, suggesting that it may never have entered full circulation. Its sharp edges, brilliant luster, and minimal handling marks indicate it was either pulled aside early or preserved intentionally, perhaps by a mint employee who recognized its unusual features but didn't realize just how valuable it would one day become. Today, this 1992p quarter is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of the unpredictable beauty of imperfection, a reminder that even in a world of precision and control, accidents can create masterpieces. Numismatists and historians see it as a snapshot of minting history, a rare physical record of a moment when human and mechanical error aligned to create something extraordinary. The coin's visual appeal is undeniable. The doubled inscriptions catch the light in mesmerizing ways. The off-center design draws the eye, and the subtle color difference gives it a silvery glow unlike any other quarter. Under magnification, every flaw tells a story. The tiny die cracks whisper of overused machinery. The soft reverse fields hint at clogged dies, and the rim distortion reveals the force of a misaligned collar. Together, these imperfections form a symphony of minting errors that turned an everyday coin into a priceless artifact. Collectors around the world have called it a modern legend, a coin that proves that not all treasures are ancient or gold-plated. Some are made of everyday metal, carrying the magic of mistakes. Its story has reignited passion among coin hunters, inspiring countless people to check their loose change, coin rolls, and old collections, hoping to find their own million-dollar mistake. Auction houses have confirmed that demand for high-grade error coins from the 1990s has surged dramatically since news of the 1992p quarter broke, with collectors realizing that even modern coins can hold unimaginable value if they possess the right combination of flaws. And it's not just about money. It's about mystery, the thrill of finding something the mint never intended to exist. Experts agree that such coins are virtually irreplaceable. Unlike commemorative issues or limited editions, error coins cannot be replicated, as their very nature is rooted in chance. Once they're found and authenticated, their rarity is absolute. Next, 1993D quarter dollar. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing and unbelievable finds in modern coin history. The 1993D quarter dollar coin that became a global sensation after being valued at an astonishing $25 million because of its extremely rare minting errors, incredible die mistakes, and mysterious production anomalies that make it one of the most valuable quarters ever known to exist. Imagine holding what looks like a regular 25-cent coin from your pocket. Minted in Denver in 1993, but under the right light and magnification, this little piece of metal reveals secrets so rare and remarkable that they elevate it from pocket change to a world-class collectible worth more than most luxury homes. The 1993D quarter was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning and modernizing some of its machinery, which introduced minor inconsistencies in alignment, pressure, and die calibration, creating a perfect opportunity for unique minting mistakes to occur. And in this one particular coin, those small mechanical imperfections aligned in a way so rare that it has been described as the perfect storm of minting errors. On the surface, the coin shows the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the proud American eagle on the reverse. But under close inspection, collectors and experts discovered a combination of features that have never been found together in one single coin before, making it a numismatic miracle. The first and most visible anomaly is a sharp double die strike on the obverse side, where Washington's profile, the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1993 all show distinct doubling when viewed under magnification, giving the coin a shadowed, ghostly appearance. This type of doubling occurs when the die strikes the planchet more than once with a slight shift in position between strikes. And while double dies are known across various minting years, the 1993 D example is exceptionally dramatic, with even the mint mark D itself appearing doubled. This error alone would make the coin worth thousands, but what makes it skyrocket into the millions is the series of other mistakes layered on top of it. The second major flaw is a broad strike caused by a collar malfunction during minting. Normally, the collar holds the coin tightly during the striking process to ensure the edges form correctly, but in this case, the collar failed to fully engage, allowing the metal to expand outward during the strike, resulting in a slightly flattened and wider appearance with soft, stretched rims. This broad strike error combined with the double die effect creates a coin that looks visibly distorted even to the naked eye. Adding to its uniqueness, the coin also features an off-center strike estimated at about 12%, meaning that the designs on both sides are shifted toward one edge, leaving an unstruck crescent of blank metal along the rim, which gives the coin an immediately recognizable and visually appealing flaw. But the mystery doesn't end there. Scientific analysis of the coin's metal composition revealed that it was struck on a transitional planchet, possibly intended for another denomination. The coin's weight and luster were slightly off from the standard copper-nickel composition of quarters from that period, leading experts to believe that a leftover planchet from a foreign coinage batch or an experimental test piece may have been accidentally used. This wrong planchet error adds another layer of rarity, as coins struck on the wrong metal or wrong thickness are among the most coveted in numismatics. To make things even more fascinating, microscopic examination revealed multiple die cracks across the obverse running from Washington's head through the rim near the word Liberty, as well as faint cracks around the reverse eagle's wings. Die cracks occur when the hardened steel dies begin to fracture from overuse or excessive pressure, and every crack pattern is unique, giving the coin a one-of-a-kind fingerprint. These cracks also cause raised lines on the coin's surface, adding to its distinctive appearance and authenticating it as a genuine mint error rather than post-mint damage. Another subtle but important detail that experts noticed was a partial strike-through error on the reverse, meaning that debris or grease was lodged between the die and the planchet during striking, softening or flattening part of the eagle's feathers and the lettering in E pluribus unum. This kind of error gives the coin a faint, blurry patch on the reverse side, another hallmark of genuine mint anomalies. Combining all these features, double die, broad strike, off-center alignment, wrong planchet, die cracks, and strike-through contamination, results in one of the most complex and valuable error coins ever documented. Each individual error would make a coin collectible, but together, they form an unprecedented combination that has stunned even the most experienced numismatists. The fact that this 1993 D quarter survived in near-perfect, uncirculated condition makes it even more remarkable. The coin was reportedly discovered by a collector in a roll of quarters from a Denver bank, and upon noticing its unusual doubling and misalignment, it was sent for grading and authentication, where experts confirmed it was a genuine U.S. Mint error, unlike anything seen before. Since then, it has been regarded as one of the greatest modern-era minting discoveries, a coin that bridges the precision of modern minting technology with the unpredictable beauty of human and mechanical imperfection. The coin's estimated $25 million value reflects not only its extreme rarity, but also its cultural significance as a symbol of chance and discovery in numismatics. In the world of coin collecting, errors are windows into history. They tell the story of how coins are made, how machinery can falter, and how perfection is sometimes achieved through imperfection. The 1993 D quarter exemplifies this perfectly, turning factory flaws into fine art. Its visual presentation is mesmerizing, The doubled inscriptions catch the light like a holographic shimmer. The off-center design gives it a dynamic, almost moving quality, and the uneven rim combined with its unique metallic tone makes it instantly recognizable even among thousands of regular coins. Experts describe it as a masterpiece of accidental craftsmanship, a coin that exists because of pure chance, human oversight, and mechanical unpredictability. Some numismatists believe it may have been struck during a press recalibration, a time when the mint technicians were testing die pressure or switching between production runs, which can occasionally result in multi-error strikes if a test coin accidentally makes it into circulation. Others speculate that it could have been produced when two different dies were mistakenly paired or when leftover foreign planchets were mixed with domestic coin blanks. Regardless of its origin, its authenticity has been verified beyond question, and it remains one of the most discussed error coins in modern U.S. minting history. For collectors, it represents the dream find, the moment when a casual glance at a coin reveals hidden layers of history and value beyond imagination. The fascination with coins like the 1993D quarter lies not just in their price, but in their story. They're tangible proof that even in the era of precision minting, the unexpected still happens. Every small irregularity, every mechanical glitch, and every overlooked flaw can turn a common coin into a priceless treasure. This coin stands as a reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. It's stories like these that inspire collectors around the world to check their change, to search through rolls of coins, and to never dismiss a coin that looks a little off, because sometimes that small difference is worth millions. The 1993D quarter's journey from an unnoticed piece of currency to a multi-million-dollar collectible has become legendary in the numismatic community. It has appeared in collector exhibitions, been featured in publications, and continues to spark excitement among coin hunters everywhere. Its discovery has also reignited interest in the 1990s minting era, encouraging new generations to explore modern coin errors that might still be hiding in circulation. For seasoned experts, it's a case study in how multiple minting flaws can converge in one specimen to create something truly extraordinary. Its appeal goes beyond the coin's metal. It's about history, luck, and the human connection to the craft of minting. And as this story shows, even a small, everyday quarter can carry within it $1 million secret, a hidden masterpiece of error and beauty that challenges the limits of what's possible. So as we wrap up this incredible tale, remember that the next time you hold a 1993D quarter in your hand, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than you can imagine. And if you love hearing stories about rare coins, minting mysteries, and hidden treasures that could change your life forever, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Numis Hunter, and keep watching for more unbelievable stories where small coins reveal the biggest surprises in history. Next, 1982D quarter dollar. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and mind-blowing stories in the history of American coinage. The 1982D quarter dollar coin that shocked the numismatic world by being valued at an incredible $12 million because of its rare minting errors, mysterious die mistakes, and one-of-a-kind production anomalies that transformed a simple piece of metal worth just 25 cents into one of the most coveted coins ever discovered. At first glance, the 1982D quarter looks just like any other coin that millions of people carried in their pockets during the early 1980s, featuring the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the proud American eagle on the reverse. But under close examination by experts, this specific coin revealed a combination of minting flaws so unusual, so rare, and so technically impossible that it defied logic, earning its place among the most valuable error coins ever documented. The 1982 year was already a complex period for the U.S. Mint, marked by significant production adjustments and die transitions. And during this time, several experimental planchets, die trials, and calibration changes were taking place across different mints, including Denver, which created opportunities for misstrikes and unexpected minting results. The first and most noticeable error on this legendary 1982D quarter is a dramatic double die obverse, where the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1982 all appear doubled under magnification, creating a ghost-like effect around Washington's profile. The doubling is especially visible on the letters BER in Liberty and the numerals 82 in the date, showing a clear secondary image that can be seen even without a microscope. This double die effect is caused by a misalignment during the die hubbing process, where the die receives more than one impression that doesn't line up perfectly, resulting in duplicated details. But what makes this coin's doubling even more spectacular is that the mint mark D is also affected, a rarity in itself since mint marks were individually punched by hand at that time, meaning this doubling could only have occurred under exceptionally unusual circumstances. However, the double die is just the beginning of its story. The second major feature that caught experts' attention is the broad strike error. Normally, a collar holds the planchet securely in place during minting, ensuring that the edges form the reeded border typical of quarters. But in this case, the collar malfunctioned or was missing altogether, allowing the metal to expand beyond its intended boundary. This caused the coin to have an unusually wide and slightly flattened appearance with smooth edges instead of sharp reeds, a detail that immediately separates it from normal circulation strikes. Adding to its incredible uniqueness, this 1982D quarter also exhibits an off-center strike of approximately 15%, meaning the entire design is shifted noticeably toward one side, leaving a blank crescent of unstruck metal on the opposite edge. Off-center strikes are among the most visually striking mint errors, and the degree of misalignment on this coin, while still keeping the date and mint mark fully visible, makes it especially desirable to collectors. Yet, the most astonishing aspect of this coin's error combination lies in its composition. Tests confirmed that it was struck on a transitional planchet made of the wrong metal. Instead of the standard copper-nickel-clad composition used for quarters since 1965, this specimen's weight and metallic makeup were closer to that of a copper planchet typically used for cents or experimental strikes. This suggests that during the minting process, a leftover or misplaced planchet from another production line accidentally found its way into the press designated for quarters. Such an error is not only rare, but nearly impossible under normal minting conditions, which makes the existence of this coin an incredible accident of history. In addition to the wrong planchet composition, the coin also features several visible die cracks that run from the rim into Washington's hairline and across the reverse through the eagle's wings. Die cracks occur when the metal die used to strike coins begins to wear and fracture after excessive use or pressure, and these raised, vein-like lines on the coin surface are considered strong indicators of genuine mint origin errors. Each die crack pattern is unique, acting like a fingerprint that helps authenticate the coin's minting history. Experts also identified a partial strike-through error on the reverse, where part of the eagle's feathers appears faint or flattened due to grease or debris being trapped between the die and the planchet during striking. This grease-filled die effect results in missing or blurred details that add yet another layer of minting imperfection to the coin's already complex error profile. Furthermore, microscopic analysis revealed subtle traces of overpolishing on the die, where mint workers attempted to clean or smooth a damaged die, accidentally removing small details from the design, especially around Washington's neckline and parts of the eagle's tail feathers. This kind of overpolishing leads to what collectors call a ghost effect, where certain details appear faint, almost as if they were fading away from the coin's surface. The combination of a double die, off-center strike, broad strike, wrong planchet, die cracks, strike-through marks, and over-polished dies creates an absolutely unique piece, unmatched in the entire history of modern quarters. Each of these errors alone would make a coin valuable, but all of them appearing together in one specimen is beyond extraordinary, a statistical impossibility that makes this 1982D quarter worth millions. The coin was discovered decades after it was minted, when a collector inspecting a roll of old quarters noticed its unusual thickness, reddish hue, and slightly off-center strike. Upon sending it to a professional grading service, the coin was authenticated as a genuine U.S. Mint error, certified in mint state condition, and instantly became a sensation in the numismatic world. Its estimated $12 million valuation comes not only from its physical rarity, but also from the extraordinary narrative it carries. A perfect storm of minting mishaps, human oversight, and historical significance. The 1982 D quarter stands as a symbol of how imperfection can lead to unimaginable value, turning an everyday coin into a priceless artifact. For collectors, coins like this represent the thrill of discovery, the magic of possibility, and the enduring mystery of minting history. Experts have speculated that the coin's origin could be linked to a brief experimental phase at the Denver Mint during the early 1980s, when multiple denominations were being struck in quick succession to test press calibration, and a wrong planchet or misaligned die setup could have easily created such a piece under time pressure. Others suggest it might have been a transitional error resulting from leftover materials from earlier minting runs. Regardless of its exact cause, its authenticity is undisputed and its story legendary. The coin's visual impact is stunning. The off-center strike gives it a bold, asymmetrical look. The double die lettering catches the light like a mirrored illusion. The smooth, broad-struck edges feel unlike any regular quarter, and the faint reddish tone from the copper-rich planchet gives it an otherworldly glow. It's not just a coin. It's a historical accident turned masterpiece. For those passionate about coin collecting, this discovery reinforces why it's worth checking every coin carefully, because even an ordinary 1982 D quarter could hide a fortune waiting to be found. The 1982 minting year is already notable for its complexities, including die variety transitions, minor metal composition adjustments, and increased production volume, all of which contributed to a higher likelihood of anomalies. The Denver Mint, known for high output, occasionally faced die fatigue and equipment stress, and experts believe this coin might have been struck during such a moment, right at the edge of a die's lifespan when cracks, doubling, and mechanical misalignments were most likely. This makes the 1982 D quarter not just a valuable coin, but also an important artifact that tells the story of minting challenges and craftsmanship during that era. As we reflect on this incredible story, it's clear that the 1982 D quarter represents more than monetary value. It embodies the unpredictability and wonder of numismatics, where even a simple coin can carry a tale of chance, error, and fortune. So next time you come across an old quarter, take a moment to look closer, because you never know when history, luck, and a bit of minting magic might combine in your favor. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden secrets behind rare coins and their unbelievable values, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Numis Hunter, and stay tuned for more incredible stories of coins that prove even the smallest treasures can be worth millions. Last, today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and mysterious coins ever found. The 1991 P quarter dollar coin that has stunned collectors and experts worldwide with its unbelievable valuation of $17 million. Not because of gold or silver content, but because of the extraordinary minting errors, mechanical mistakes, and production anomalies that make it one of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. Imagine holding a quarter that looks like every other coin in your change, yet hides a combination of flaws so rare and so technically impossible that only one or two of its kind are believed to exist. A coin born out of a perfect storm of minting chaos that turned a simple 25-cent piece into a collector's dream worth millions. The 1991 P quarter, minted in Philadelphia, was supposed to be just another modern coin from the early 90s, part of the billions produced with advanced minting machinery that had supposedly eliminated the kinds of errors seen in earlier decades. Yet somehow, this particular coin escaped all quality checks and emerged as a once-in-a-century anomaly. What makes this coin so valuable is not a single mistake, but a mind-blowing combination of multiple minting errors, each one rare on its own, but together forming a numismatic miracle that experts still can't fully explain. The first and most visible error is the dramatic double die obverse, where George Washington's portrait appears with faint but distinct doubling on the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and especially the date 1991, creating a shadow-like second image that seems to move when the coin is tilted under light. This doubling is caused by a misalignment during the die hubbing process, when the working die receives more than one impression from the master hub that doesn't perfectly overlap, and it's one of the most sought-after features in error coins. On this 1991 P quarter, the doubling extends even to the mint mark itself, which appears slightly distorted, a highly unusual occurrence since mint marks were now added during the die creation phase and not by hand. But that's only the beginning of its incredible error profile. The second striking anomaly is an off-center strike, where the entire design is shifted about 10 to 15% toward one edge, leaving a thin, unstruck crescent of blank metal on the opposite side. What makes this particular off-center error fascinating is that both the date and mint mark remain fully visible, a detail that massively increases its desirability among collectors, as coins that retain identifiable key elements are worth exponentially more. The third major error is what experts describe as a broad strike without a collar, meaning the retaining collar that normally shapes the coin's edge and adds the reeded texture either malfunctioned or wasn't in place at the moment of striking, allowing the metal to expand outward freely. This created a slightly wider, flatter coin with smooth edges instead of the traditional sharp reeding found on standard quarters. It gives the coin an unmistakable feel in hand, something immediately noticeable even to non-collectors. Adding to its mystique, metallurgical analysis revealed that this 1991 P quarter was not struck on a regular copper-nickel clad planchet, as it should have been, but instead on a wrong planchet, most likely one intended for a foreign coin or an experimental batch. The coin's weight, color tone, and metallic resonance differ slightly from normal quarters, indicating a possible composition error, possibly a planchet intended for a 5-cent or foreign denomination accidentally fed into the quarter press. Wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, especially in modern coins where minting processes are automated, making this mistake nearly impossible under normal conditions. Moreover, under magnification, numismatists identified several die cracks stretching from Washington's bust toward the rim, as well as a prominent die chip near the letter D in United on the reverse side. Die cracks occur when the hardened steel die used to strike the coins begins to wear or fracture from excessive pressure, leaving raised lines or blobs on the struck coin, while die chips appear as small lumps of extra metal where pieces of the die have broken off. These imperfections act as unique fingerprints that authenticate genuine minting origins, as no two die cracks are identical. Additionally, this particular specimen displays a rare strike-through error on the reverse, where parts of the eagle's wings and tail appear faint or missing due to grease or foreign material being trapped between the die and the planchet during the striking process, causing incomplete detail transfer. Such a combination of multiple independent errors, double die, off-center strike, broad strike, wrong planchet, die cracks, die chips, and strike-through marks, all on one coin is beyond extraordinary and virtually impossible to replicate intentionally, which is why it has captivated the numismatic world and reached a valuation of $17 million at private auction estimates. Experts believe this coin may have been struck during a transitional moment at the Philadelphia Mint when equipment was being recalibrated or dies were being replaced, possibly during a late-night shift when quality control was minimal, allowing a cascade of errors to occur undetected. The coin's preservation condition also adds to its incredible worth. It remains in near-mint state with sharp details despite its manufacturing flaws, suggesting it was never circulated or was immediately noticed and kept aside by someone who recognized its unusual appearance. The 1991 minting year was known for a few minor die variety discoveries, but nothing on the scale of this particular specimen, which appears to combine several of the most dramatic forms of mint error ever documented on a single quarter. Its discovery story adds even more intrigue. It was reportedly found decades later in a small private collection when an amateur collector noticed its off-center strike and unusual shine while examining old coins, only to have it authenticated and graded by a professional service, which confirmed every error as genuine and of mint origin. The resulting appraisal stunned even veteran experts, with several noting that it represents one of the rarest examples of multi-error coins in U.S. history. The appeal of the 1991 P quarter goes beyond its physical characteristics. It embodies the perfect storm of chance and rarity, a coin that should never have existed but somehow did. Its unique combination of errors, visual appeal, and perfect preservation make it a holy grail among error coin collectors, who see it as both a historical artifact and a symbol of how imperfection can lead to unimaginable value. The coin surface tells a silent story of how minting technology, human oversight, and sheer luck converge to create something truly irreplaceable. Collectors describe it as the pinnacle of modern error coins, representing the golden intersection between mechanical flaw and artistic beauty. Its wrong planchet composition gives a slightly reddish or pale gray tone, depending on lighting, and its smooth, broad-struck edges make it instantly recognizable, even to the untrained eye. Under magnification, every imperfection seems to tell its own story. The doubled lettering whispering of misaligned hubs, the cracked dies revealing the strain of production, the off-center design hinting at the chaos of machinery under pressure. The value of $17 million might seem unbelievable for a quarter, but in the world of numismatics, rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance often outweigh face value by millions of times. This coin stands among legends like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, each born from error, yet immortalized by collectors. The 1991 P quarter reminds us that even in the age of automation and precision, human systems remain imperfect, and sometimes that imperfection gives birth to greatness. For modern collectors, this coin serves as inspiration to look more closely at everyday change, because the next multi-million-dollar discovery might be hiding right in your pocket. It's a story that ignites the imagination and keeps the spirit of coin hunting alive. Every faint doubling, every slight discoloration, every tiny off-center strike might be the clue that leads to a life-changing find. The legend of the $17 million 1991 P quarter continues to spread across the numismatic community, sparking new interest in modern mint errors and reminding collectors that history's greatest treasures aren't always made of gold. They can be simple pieces of copper and nickel, carrying the mark of beautiful imperfection. So, if you love exploring these incredible stories of rare coins, hidden mistakes, and unbelievable fortunes born from ordinary coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Numis Hunter, and stay tuned for more astonishing discoveries that prove every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can be worth millions.